Gather round, dear listeners, as I transport you to the vibrant lands of Western Africa, where the rhythms of tradition and the whispers of the past come alive. It is here that our tale begins, a legendary story known and loved by many, a day, the Thunder's Call. Once upon a time, beneath the sky of endless gray, in a village where the sun shone faint each day, lived a day, an orphan, small and frail, whose life was a storm, a sorrowful tale. He had no father to guide his hand, no mother's love, no promised land. The orphanage gates were all he knew, its walls were cold, its kindness few. The elders whispered, their voices low, bad luck follows wherever he'll go. A vase would shatter, a fire would spark, and always poor Ade was blamed in the dark. One fateful morning, they turned him out. No room for the boy, no more of their doubt. Go find your fortune away from here. We've had enough of your shadow near. Ade wandered far, his feet sore and bare, through thorny paths, through cold night air. With every step, the boy would cry, "Why, O gods, why not let me die?" But the gods above, in their watchful keep, saw the boy as he fell asleep. On a dusty road with no one near, his dreams were heavy with sorrow and fear. Before dawn's light could break the spell, a wagon approached, its riders from hell, men with masks and voices grim. They took the boy. The world grew dim. When Ade awoke, he was far from home, in a shrine carved deep from ancient stone. Before him stood a man of might, a chief priest cloaked in robes of white. "Who brings this child to my sacred hall?" The priest's voice boomed, a thunderous call. "He is small and weak, of no use to me. Why bring him here? Set him free." But one masked man with a bowing head spoke these words, his voice thick with dread. "This boy, they say, is touched by fate. A storm surrounds his cursed state." The priest grew silent, his eyes aglow. He saw in a day what others didn't know. "Very well," the priest did decree. "This child will serve both gods and me." Years passed by, and Ade did toil. He fetched the water and tilled the soil. He swept the shrine and lit the flame, but never once did he hear his name. The priest would teach him, in moments rare, of chants and spells and prayers in the air. "Listen closely," the old man said, "for the gods walk among both the living and dead." At first Ade doubted, his heart filled with scorn. But one night, beneath a moon forlorn, the skies erupted, the clouds turned gray, and Ade heard a voice from far away. "Ade, O child of storm and strife, you are destined for more than this mortal life. Embrace the thunder, let go of your fear, for your path to power is drawing near." The next morning, Ade found his voice, a strength inside, a burning choice. "Teach me, priest, the ways of the gods. Let me master the sacred rods." The priest agreed, though his heart was wary, for Ade's spirit was fierce and fiery. He taught the boy of drums and dance, of rituals deep and the gods' romance. With every lesson, Ade grew strong, his voice like thunder, his will a song. The winds would stir when he raised his hand, the earth would quake at his command. "Enough!" cried the priest, his fear now true. "You've surpassed me, boy, in all that you do. But know this power comes at a cost, for the gods demand what mortals have lost." One fateful night the gods did call, a challenge issued to Ade and all. "To prove your worth you must descend to the sacred grove where spirits bend." Ade ventured forth, his heart ablaze, through winding paths, through misty haze. He faced the spirits, their trials grim, but none could break the fire in him. At last, He stood before the throne, a place of power, of flesh and bone. The gods appeared, their voices loud, and crowned Ade beneath the stormy cloud. From this day forth you are no mere boy, but Sango, the thunder, the god's envoy. Go forth, protect, and let justice reign, for you are the storm, the cleansing rain. And so a day rose, a deity bold, his tale retold as legends of old. The boy once cursed, alone and small, became the thunder that shook them all. Villages bowed, their hearts alight, to the God who turned wrong into right. And in the heavens, where storms take flight, Sango watches with power and might. Though crowned by gods, Ade felt torn, for the boy in him was still forlorn. He thought of the priest, of lessons hard, of the orphanage gates and the world unmarred. Yet the gods' voices filled the air, a booming chorus both fierce and fair. Child of thunder, the time has come, your journey starts where shadows drum. And so, with lightning in his stride, Ade returned to the world outside. The priest stood waiting, his head bowed low, his voice a whisper, soft and slow. You've risen, Ade, to heights untold. The gods have forged you, strong and bold. But power tempts and hearts can stray. Beware the path where thunder may play. Ade nodded, his heart resolved, for in his chest a storm revolved. He vowed to use his new-found might to bring the world both peace and light. Through villages vast and forests deep, Ade traveled where pain did creep. He found a town plagued by fear, where storms raged wild year after year. The people whispered, their faces pale, curses haunt us, the rains assail, no crops will grow, no homes will stand, we are doomed by the gods' cruel hand. Ade raised his staff, a gift divine, and called the thunder to cease its line. The skies obeyed, the winds grew still, the village awoke, freed from ill will. The people knelt, their voices praised, but Ade, with sadness, refused to be swayed. I am no king, no lord of gold, but a servant of justice, brave and bold. Rise, my people, and know your worth, for you are the keepers of this great earth. Tend your fields, rebuild your lands, and trust in the work of your humble hands. But not all welcomed Ade's reign, for power breeds both hope and pain. A warlord heard of the thunder god and swore to break him ironclad and flawed. With armies vast and weapons bright, the warlord marched in the dead of night. He sought the shrine where Ade would stay, to steal his power, to make him pay. Ade stood tall, his voice a storm. No mortal man shall twist my form. If you seek a battle, then raise your blade, but know the price your greed has made. The clash was fierce, the skies grew red, the ground shook under the warrior's tread. With every strike, Ade held fast, until the warlord fell at last. Why? The warlord cried, his voice in pain. Why do you fight when there's nothing to gain? Ade knelt down, his words sincere, to guard the weak, to end your fear. The gods have given me strength untold, not for vengeance nor riches of gold, but to guide the lost, to light the way, and bring the dawn to the darkest day. Years went by, and Ade grew wise. His name resounded through earth and skies. But the boy within still longed for more, a family's love, a home to adore. One night the gods called him near, their voices loud, their message clear. Ade, our champion, your work is done. You've proven worthy, our chosen son. Now ascend to realms above, where storms are born and skies show love. Your mortal ties must fade and sever, for gods live on, eternal, forever. Ade wept, though his heart was strong, for he'd walked this earth for far too long. He cast one look at the world below, at the lives he'd touched, the seeds he'd sown. Then lightning struck, the heavens roared, and Ade, the boy, was no more. In his place the god took flight, a beacon of justice, of thunder and light. And so the legend of Sango was born, a deity crowned from a life forlorn. The villagers tell his tale with pride of the orphan boy who refused to hide. In storms that rumble, in skies that gleam, Sango watches, a guardian supreme, and children sleep, their dreams alight, with tales of Ade, the god of might. Though a god in name, Ade still roamed, a soul unbound, a world his home. He sought the truth, a greater call, beyond the mountains, beyond the walls. Through savannas golden, through jungles green, he met strange creatures, both kind and mean. The spirits of earth, the ghosts of the seas, all whispered tales of the gods' decrees. One evening, as stars began to shine, Ade approached a sacred shrine. Carved in stone were riddles of old, of gods betrayed, of powers untold. A voice then spoke, deep and wise, from the shadows where no form lies. Ade, the thunder, your path is steep, for the gods have secrets they'd rather keep. To hold your power, to guard your flame, you must seek the ones who curse your name. The ancient foes who sleep in fire await your courage, your heart's desire. Confused but bold, Ade pressed on, his strength renewed with the coming dawn. In a valley veiled by mist and lore, he found a gate, an ominous door. Upon the gate, in letters vast, were names of gods from ages past. Sango, he read, his name and place, yet it bore no pride, just shadowed disgrace. The door swung open with a thunderous groan, and Ade stepped forth into lands unknown. The ground was ash, the skies were red, and whispers spoke of battles led. A being emerged with eyes aflame, a titan of fire who called Adea's name. You dare to tread where mortals fall? You dare to answer the ancient call? I am Oro, the wrath of fire, the one who burns the god's desire. Your name and mine forever tied, for through your thunder I was denied. The clash was swift, the earth did quake, as Oro's flames made mountains break. Ade stood firm, his staff in hand, channeling lightning across the land. Why do you fight when you know no truth? Why serve the gods who steal your youth? Oro's words cut deep and strong, for Ade had wondered all along. Were the gods just? Were their ways pure? Or did they use him, a pawn to lure? But even in doubt, his heart held fast, for justice was his, from first to last. With a mighty strike, Ade prevailed, the flames extinguished, the Titan jailed, but Oro laughed, his voice a storm. For every victory, doubt will form. Seek the truth, young god of might, or be consumed by endless night. Haunted by Oro's fiery jest, Ade continued, his soul unrest. He sought the priest who once had taught the ways of gods, the lessons wrought. Back at the shrine, the priest stood near, his face now lined, his eyes severe. Ade, my child, your power grows, but with it the weight of wisdom shows. The gods are not as pure as sun, their deeds are woven, threads undone. But justice lives in hearts that fight to turn the wrong into the right. Go, my son, to the sacred tree where roots entwine eternity. There lies the truth of gods and men, a path unbroken beyond the pen. The sacred tree stood tall and grand, its roots dug deep in ancient land. Its branches held the stars in place, its leaves were whispers of time and space. Ade knelt down, his staff aglow, and asked the tree the truths to show. The roots uncoiled, the earth did hum, and a vision formed of days to come. He saw the gods in all their pride, creating worlds, then casting aside. But he also saw the human will, a force that gods could never kill. From this, he learned his power's role not to control, but to make whole. He swore an oath beneath the tree to serve both gods and humanity. Empowered anew, a day returned to lands where fires of conflict burned. Kings and chiefs, with greed unbound, had torn the earth, the skies, the ground. With thunder's roar and lightning's sting, Ade toppled tyrants, dethroned false kings. But he also healed, with gentle rain, the hearts once hardened by years of pain. His name became both fear and grace, a force eternal time couldn't erase. Yet deep inside, his heart still yearned for the boy he was, for lessons learned. As centuries passed, Ade grew wise, a god who watched from thunderous skies. But he'd often walk as mortal man to feel the soil, to touch the sand. He visited villages, small and bright, guiding children through darkest night. They'd gather close, their faces aglow, as Ade told tales of long ago. Once there was a boy, he'd start, who held a storm within his heart. He faced great trials, he walked alone, but through it all his soul had grown. And as the children drifted to dreams, Ade would vanish like moonlit streams. Yet his presence lingered in hearts and lore, the god of thunder forevermore. For more captivating stories and tales, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to join our camp and stay updated.